Hey Libra, how are you doing? Let's find out. We've got the supermoon, the strawberry moon coming up. It's typically a Sagittarius moon, but I do believe that it's actually in a bit of a split situation between Sagittarius and Capricorn. That's the note that I made in my astrology workbook months ago when I was looking ahead. But yeah, so we have this supermoon coming up. So it might have something to do with faith. It might have something to do with journeys, soul contracts. Let's find out. Let's find out where you're at. I've pulled out the Lenormand deck that I have never used until these readings now. I've had it for a year and I took my time with it because I wanted to. I don't know why I was more nervous about that deck than any tarot deck, but I was. So I took my time. We'll start with that and then we'll get into the Morgan Greers and see what they have to say together. And so instead of doing an oracle this time, because there's just some really fabulous cards. Well, they're all fabulous cards in here, but there's some really interesting meanings in here that aren't elsewhere. And they give me some... to be honest, I tend to find more problem people coming through in the readings through this deck than that. This is a more suspicious deck for me. But let's see. Let's see, Libra. So... I have your past readings in mind, but I'm not gonna necessarily I don't want to project them onto this. This could be a whole other situation. Is that the moon? Yeah, that's the moon card. Intuition, yes, similar meanings. And we have a 32, which is a 5, a necessary change. But it is, I'm going to keep it sideways, sort of a crossing energy or an energy that's on hold. We'll find out. And we do have the 8 of Cups there. Very much similar to the actual 8 of Cups card then with the moon eclipse. So obviously the supermoon, it could be for the duration. It could be before and after the supermoon and all through the supermoon. And 8 is, for me, is proving yourself to yourself. And there could be guides involved here, spirit guides, soul contracts, like I was saying, because we had Neptune on the table. I just split the deck for when I do an intuitive split when I had both decks facing up when we started. So they tend to end up meaning something to the reading. And why wouldn't they? But, okay. Now an 8 would be between the 9. Now it's pointing this way, so the 9 would be here and the 7 would be here. So we're pointing towards the 9 and away from the 7, if I'm thinking of how I would read left to right. So wish fulfillment versus a transformation. More Pisces energy versus a Scorpio energy, which would be fulfilling a contract rather than transforming into the person who will fulfill the contract. You know, suggesting you've already been through a very psychic, soulful transformation. And you've been doing, if we are going back to previous readings, and you were doing that mediation work between this world and the other world, you know, or you had to be super magician energy and super magician thinking, basically like a magic lawyer kind of thing. Yeah, you've been there, done that. And if you have that troublesome ancestor, I guess we want to go to the Morgan Greers right now because nothing's coming through. Oh, it's spinning. If you want to see a neat magic trick, watch the first 40 minutes. Yeah, because everybody's got the first 40 seconds of Taurus reading. Crossing energy. Because it's a crossroads. This is the Crossroads card. Okay. So, moving figuratively or actually. Going somewhere. Where to go. Queen of Pentacles on that card, and we have a 22, so doubles. Mastermind, Mercury cycles, but condenses to a 4 of stability. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, but definitely in motion. And just figuring out which way to go. Okay, wow, that's some very nice, clear. And then if we're weighing, get your scales out, Libra. Yes, that fence. Is there a fence in this picture? No, there's a bridge, though. Let me get the fridge. Ooh, bridge and fridge. Nice. Okay. So, what's the problem then? Is Lenormand going to tell me? Lenormand? Are you going to tell me? I should start doing readings en français. I guess. You know, that's the second time it's done it that way. Okay, so we're going to do a 45-degree angle. Something's in process. Yes. Something is dying or regenerating. So some Scorpio energy here, but also Pentacles energy because they put the 9. What's so interesting is they put the 9 of Pentacles with the 8. So strength. What's interesting is they put the Entrepreneur card with the Coffin, which just carries the usual death energy of, you know, anything Scorpio. Something's... Now, we don't have it sideways, we don't have it reversed, we don't have it upright. We have it exactly like that. So there's independence. You know, whatever this was keeping you in a state of, you know, not being independent. You were, and again with that 8, right? That 8. Okay. Okay. And so that's part of what the holdup is waiting for that to, well, or thinking you need to wait for it to complete. Yes. Sometimes we have to move before the thing is over. Let's see. And, well, I'll wait to see if I need to mention it. Well, no, I'll mention it because, I mean, I ramble on about this. I don't know how many times you've listened to me or not. But Libra, like the air and the earth signs, I reclassified for cardinal, fixed, and mutable points because Ptolemy's reasons for putting them where he put them don't match enough practically. So because your 7th house, I think of you as fixed air. I put all the cardinals together, all the fixed together, and all the mutable together. Because mutable is dependent on the actions of others. Not that everybody isn't dependent on the actions of others. But when you get to 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th houses, that's where things come into play big time. With you, it's negotiation. With you, it's, you know, sitting down and, yeah, there's more than one person involved. But there is discernment on your part that is mostly required. A lot of thinking and a lot of mediating and a lot of you. A lot of you. And so if anything comes through, I mean, but energetically, energetically, to be the mediator to me is a very fixed point, because the scales balance on a fixed point. And so in terms of not putting you as cardinal, right? That's not how I think of you in these readings. You're intermediate. Things get finalized in your house, yes? Once something is determined in the 7th house, right? It's a very, very intentional, pivotal time. So this I put as not Gemini, but Aquarius. 11th house, legacy. Turning over a new page in a, like starting a new chapter, starting a new book, right? It's coming back to the 9 of Swords, where you prove yourself to everybody. Mastermind thinking. Mastermind thinking. What are we aiming for here? Now we do have the coffin, and we do have heading towards that Ace of Swords. So the truth, a new truth, a new thing to say, a problem solved. Very interesting. Okay. Everybody's getting very layered readings right now, and that's all thanks to that Gemini solar eclipse, I'm sure. And the time of year, and all the retrogrades, preparation for. But, okay, wow, just don't want to. What is happening? I want it to jump. How do we decide which way to go? Yeah, we're doing that. Yeah. Soul contracts. Are we looking at a situation of what was I saying? If you were waiting for this to be resolved before you go, or you need to go before it's resolved, before it's done. Ace of Cups, spiritual. So we're looking at spiritual fulfillment and the truth. Ace of Cups versus wish fulfillment. The right thing or the Yeah, I know, Libra. I don't even know what to ask them. Do you know what to ask? Okay, they know what. And that's, you know what, that's actually the thing about, I come from a Christian background. Well, not that Jesus was a Christian, but I come from 26 years inside. Particularly, I started off in the Nazarene church, but my mom came from the United Church. She put herself in it when she was 9 because she was an abandoned child. My dad's mother was the pianist for the Salvation Army Citadel downtown for like 50 years. She had to be forcibly retired. My mom was a classical singer, an opera singer. But so I come from multiple church backgrounds. Mennonites looked after me a lot of the time while my mom was ill. But my private music teachers were Jewish. I have kind of an adoptive mom who's Muslim. I've lots of co-workers who were various Indian religions. I've done my Sagittarius thing. I'm a Scorpio rising, but my first house goes through Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. So I've gone and investigated everything, and I've taken Christianity apart, Judaism apart, Bibles from Arabia, all that stuff. But having said that, I'm saying that because in the Christian tradition there's a certain kind of prayer, and people get it wrong all the time, and they think they're asking God for help when they're praying together, and what they're actually doing is creating the opportunity for God to tell them what they need. And so, yes, we don't always have to know what to ask for. And reading and doing cards is a form of that kind of prayer, where God tells us what we need to know, and guides tell us what we need to know. We don't always know what to ask for. And when the name of this particular name of this kind of prayer pops into my head, it always fades out of my head. I've got it completely because I always have arguments about it, but when it pops into my head, I'll say it. Okay. Cancerian energy, but water energy. Even the Chariot isn't balanced. Okay, so there's an imbalance between masculine and feminine, between lunar and solar. Right, so during the supermoon, progress is halted. Victory is halted. Four of Pentacles reversed to the Three of Pentacles. A collaboration. Divine timing. This is the only divine timing we have on the table. And it's echoing that duration. The balance. Generous versus feeling a loss. Second house. I put this as second house. Others would put it as Capricorn, but I put it as second house. The insecurity. So there's insecurity, security versus insecurity. Who do we have here? Thank you. I don't know why I feel like crying right now, but not only do I feel like it, I'm doing it. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, going through a stability. A situation doubles possibly, we could say twin flame situation. Yeah. Yeah. And therefore, at the crossroads. And what is the crossroads? What was I saying about wish fulfillment or doing the right thing and being spiritually filled? And be careful what you wish for. Because you're going to get betrayed again. Right. What was the last reading, Libra? The last reading I did for you was you weren't being toxic. You were just waiting for the green light. You were staying in a soul contract until it was time to go. But there's this imbalance that's holding you back. And you have to find your reasons. You have to find what works for you. You have to go back and find the right value for yourself in that Three of Pentacles. You have to value yourself enough. And so the crossroads is you. Choosing you. It really just was that simple. But what's not simple are the feelings. And wondering how it all is going to look. But you need that balance. And if this person can't give you that balance, then your own inner masculine and feminine need to be balanced. Now you have the strong feminine. But if we take this as a masculine, it's not necessarily. But let's say. Because very definitely. Then you need to build up your masculine sense of, your inner masculine. That's what you need to do. And get him secure, stable. And get that balance because you are Libra. And what's a major theme in Libra's life? Yep. Arriving at balance. You're born into imbalance and you have to suffer and struggle your way very unfairly towards balance. And that's what this is bringing you with this supermoon. That intuition, that overdose of intuition. And that tremendous faith of Sagittarius for the long journey and the truth. Yeah, because at the head of this Ten of Swords, right, which would put it at the bottom of the table, would be that Ace of Swords, that truth. God, that's so beautiful when that happens. And it takes a minute to find it, and then you find it and it's like, shit. Okay, Libra. You're gonna love yourself a lot. And I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that they're stuck the way they're stuck. Because it would have been more fun the other way. But they were doing you wrong. For their own reasons, in their own ways. And it's just, yeah, you got the green light. So you know where your guides need you to be, and you know where you need to be. And however it results in the long run, then that's up to the long run. Thank you for being amazing, Libra. Thank you for this reading. And take excellent care of yourself. I will be back in 2 weeks. Much love.